how about that? How about that? How about coming out with a win? It just seemed like it's been so long since we had a win. Like, when the last time did we win? I don't even remember. It seemed like it's been forever. What's up, this James the Giant. Not about to waste any time. We actually came out with a win today. Like, I can't believe that. I'm just as shocked that you are. Yes, like the G-Men actually came out with a win. But I'm going to break it down. If you're new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. 21-15 in the Browns house in Cleveland. I mean, it was a lot of doubters, but we got it. And not only did we get it, but we got it out the mud. Ugly win. Nasty. We had some highlights, but we're going to get right into it. Turned on the game, excited about it, was feeling real optimistic, didn't really know what to think. The first thing that happens is a fumble. This is the thing that I always talk about, and then as soon as that happened, I was like, here goes the Giants. Just doing Giants shit. It never fails, you know? Every time we are returning a kick, you got to hold your breath. Anytime we're returning a kick, 9 times out of 10, I know it's going to be a fumble. After the Brown gets the ball, Amari Cooper scores a touchdown, and it was really quick. And I was like, already at this point in the game, okay, what am I going to get into today since this game is already over? Because at that point, I'm thinking this is about to be a blowout. That was such a letdown. How are we going to stop the Browns? Obviously, their momentum is all the way up. It's through the roof. And then they got these dudes on the sidelines doing like the Power Ranger moves, you know, Denzel Ward and the anime shit. And that's when I knew, yo, they were bullying us. Once we got the ball back, we got off to a little slow start. But the thing that really turned this game around was that roughing the passer call on Daniel Jones. I think if that didn't happen, that we will be talking about a whole different game right now. After that roughing the passer call, we ended up going down the field and then ended up scoring. I ain't gonna lie, Daniel Jones at that point did seem a little shook up. I peeped, like his hand was a little shaky, but he made those decisions, and that's all we really want as Giants fans. We want Daniel Jones to make those decisions quickly. We want him to be decisive, and whenever he see an opportunity, run the ball. And he had control of this game. Like, this is like the first time in a long time I've seen Daniel Jones really like take control of the game. And it turns out to be positive. And another thing that I noticed, that the play calling was a bit better. Brian Daboll on the sideline calling plays actually was a good thing today. Like, it seemed like it was a mixture of so many different plays, and it seemed like we always kept the defense on their toes. We're supposed to be playing against a top 5 defense. The Browns defense isn't like a bad defense. Things could have got ugly, but we held up pretty good. The O-line looked amazing today. Giants fans, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like there's a little credence to what I say when I say the Giants O-line looked like a Super Bowl O-line. Alright, am I doing too much? Tell me if I'm doing too much. Maybe I'm speaking a little too soon, but that Giants O-line is looking like a Super Bowl winning team. Just the O-line I'm talking about. Daniel Jones had a lot of time. He was going against Myles Garrett and all these other good defensive players. Like, bro, the Giants held up, and they held up well. And they did their damn job today. 2 words this game. Mike McFadden. Another 2 words this game. Brian Burns. Another 2 words this game. Azeez Ojulari. Another 2 words in this game. Malik Neighbors. Another 2 words in this game. Daniel Jones. Everybody played their part today. It seemed like we could finally, like, we have chemistry now. And I ain't gonna lie, like, the first couple minutes of the game, it seemed like it was really easy for the team to check out. Because I know for myself, I was looking at it like, this game is over. But we found a way to get right back into it, and we came out with a win. Micah McFadden was all over the Browns offense, so that was a positive thing. This is what I expected the team to look like this year. 3 sacks already in the first quarter. Browns defense, they might be top 5, but they couldn't stop our offense. The difference between the Browns and the Giants is, see, the Giants defense, if we're going by the past 2 weeks, is mid, right? But today seemed like we woke up. Even if we're also on that same level, we still found a way to stop their offense. They couldn't stop our offense, but we found a way to stop their offense. So now then we get into the second quarter, Myles Garrett started showing up. This game, Andrew Thomas is a little shaky because, you know, you're going against Myles Garrett and you're trying to protect Daniel Jones from getting obliterated. So Andrew Thomas held up pretty well, even though he had a couple of penalties. But again, once again, you're going against Myles Garrett. Like, this was supposed to be a team that we couldn't score on because their defense was just top notch. But we debunked that theory. Drew Phillips ended up getting taken out of the game. And then that's when I was like, oh my goodness, like things might things might spiral out of control because he played such a pivotal role in the last game. Around the second quarter, this is when like the team really started like waking up and really I'm like looking at I'm like, this team is different. Azeez Ojulari lost his mind today. Like, I couldn't believe this dude was all over the field. Brian Burns lost his mind today. Kayvon Thibodeaux had some pressure. Of course, Dexter Lawrence was causing havoc. Our defense was really eating today. Like, to say that we had that many sacks in the first half of the game is just insane. Like, we keep that up, we will be a top 5 defense for sure. Yes, our last 2 weeks was questionable, but this week we really had something to say. There was this one play I remember where Daniel Jones threw it to Wan'Dale. When Wan'Dale caught it, Wan'Dale took a big hit, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, I'm kind of flinching at the hit because Wan'Dale a small dude, and I'm thinking like, man, somebody better go check on Wan'Dale. Man, this man got up and started roaring like a tiger. Like, my bad, homie. I ain't know you was an animal. I'm sorry. I didn't know you was a straight animal, bro. Hyped me up for sure, and I think at that time I'm like, you know what? This game is taking a turn for the good. Daniel Jones is looking pretty good. Displaying decisiveness, displaying toughness, displaying quickness. Like, this is the Daniel Jones that that needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the Daniel Jones that we can, be proud of. So it's been a while since we seen like a very competent offense. A play where Neighbors caught that ball, but it looked like it was going to be an interception. That is when I knew, man, like, this dude is we already know that this dude is special, but this is like, because any other person, I felt like that would have been an interception. But because it was Malik Neighbors and he's him, like, he ended up saying, give me that shit. And that's all I want the Giants to do, bro. Give me that shit, man. But he had 78 yards today. He could have got way more. And of course, Daniel Jones need to get better at like the deep passes. But I don't want to ask for too much too quick. Like, I'm happy with the win that we got, and I'm going to keep it like that. Brian Daboll's play calling was spectacular today. It allowed our offense to operate in situations that confused the defense. And our defense confused Deshaun Watson. That is, I feel like, ultimately is how we won the game. And by the end of the second quarter, Deshaun Watson was kind of like defeated. Deshaun Watson took so many hits, I almost called the police. This man was getting hit every single play. And at this point, the Browns are looking different on the sidelines. It's no more dancing on the sidelines and smiling and kicking it. Nah. It got serious. It got dark at this time because now the Giants is really looking like the G-Man. There was a couple of plays in the first half that, had it not happened, it would be a completely different game. Number one, that roughing the passer call on Daniel Jones. And also, we went for it on 4th down and we ended up getting it. And I think that is the type of attitude we need to have. So then we get to the third quarter. Great start by offense until, once again, Singletary fumbles. I hope we don't talk about this every week, Singletary. I hope we got all of that out of our system because we cannot afford to lose games because you cannot hold on to the ball when you already have it and you had a great game. This is a recurring thing. So, Singletary, lift. Like, you need to lift like Pinnock needed to lift from last week when he had that ball taken from him while they were airborne. During the third quarter, Daniel Jones took a lot of deep shots. Daniel Jones must improve on his deep shots. Simple. It was always a little overthrown, and I feel like maybe that had something to do with the neck injury that Daniel Jones has. I don't really know what that's about, but work on those deep passes. If Daniel Jones made most of the deep passes, this game probably would have been a blowout, hands down. The penalties was really getting to us at this time. See, this was like a roller coaster game where there was the good, and then there was the bad, and then there was the ugly. End of the third quarter, things took a real turn because the offense really couldn't even get a good start. And then we get to fourth quarter, where early in the fourth quarter, the Browns were looking like a whole different team. Their offense started heating up. They ended up scoring, and then they ended up converting 2 points to catch up with us, so it could be like I guess it was like at that point it was a 1-score game. The penalties kept kicking out, but penalties galore. The Browns offense was looking great. I'm thinking that we're probably about to lose the game because it seemed like the Browns defense kind of figured out the Giants offense and our style of play, and they kind of adjusted to it. It seemed like Deshaun Watson and the Browns offense started figuring out our defense and our schemes and stuff. The Giants have a slight weakness in Deonte Banks. I mean, he needs help out there. It seemed like they started bullying us again because we couldn't get anything started in the fourth quarter. Neighbors dropped the ball. Bellinger had a penalty. You look on the sidelines at that time, and Newsome and Ward they're back to doing their Power Ranger dance or whatever, that Naruto thing or whatever they're doing over there, right? It started pissing me off at that point because I thought at that point, because we're the Giants, you could lose games like this if you just let it slip away and that momentum shifts. The Browns had a chance to score and change this thing around. And this is where I feel like those deep passes could have really helped. Like, those deep passes are very vital to us winning games because, sure, we could have a great drive. And sure, that drive could be a get it out the mud drive. But let's get this game over with. So the Browns fumbled the ball and we get the ball back. And I'm like, yes, okay, this is it. This is our win. When we got the ball back, Wandell dropped the pass. This was an emotional roller coaster for sure. I couldn't figure out how we was getting so many opportunities to capitalize on a fourth down stop, but we couldn't do it. That is an issue. We need to figure that out. If we figure those things out, if we figure out deep passes, helping out Deonte Banks, and responding whenever we have a turnover or whenever we get a stop on fourth down, we need to respond. Once the Giants got the ball back after their second fourth down stop, once Singletary ran the ball up the field to the 1 yard line, the game was pretty much over at that point. And we got out with a dub. Daniel Jones threw for 236 yards. This is the highest he threw all season. Malik Neighbors 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones 2 touchdowns. Defense, I couldn't even keep track of how many sacks or hits was going on. Defense just did their job today, and that's all we asked for. I don't know what else to say, man. This was one giant win. What else can you say? What else can you say? We won. Let's take this home. Enjoy it. Because guess what? On Thursday, we got the Cowboys. That's the real test. This was like the pre-test. The Cowboys, the real test. That's how you win. Come on, man. Dang. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good to just win? Once again, James the Giant, I don't got nothing else to say. I just want to enjoy my win. I didn't want to speak too long. I just want to go in and enjoy my win. Alright? James the Giant, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Put them W's in the chat, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.